IGN was wrong about Mario and Luigi Brothership. I just 100% completed the game and I really ended up enjoying it, but I can't help but still feel bad that this dang review has ruined or at least damaged the game's reputation. Like it or not, a large amount of the conversation has revolved around this one 5 out of 10. So in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing IGN's review after having played the game myself. In a way, this will be my review of the game too, so I'll give it a score at the end and all that, but anyway, there's no reason to wait. Let's get started with the review of IGN's Mario and Luigi Brothership review.
If you've been living under a rock for the last year and are craving a Mario RPG, then I've got good and bad news. The good news is that Nintendo has put out 3 of them in the last 12 months, including 2 fantastic remakes. The bad news is that Mario & Luigi Brothership, the only fully original adventure of the bunch, is easily the worst.
Not true. I don't think it's the worst, but I'm gonna give you a little tease. I'm gonna make a video ranking all 3, so you'll have to wait on that one. A little bit of a reason to subscribe. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers, please. I've wanted it forever.
This nautical navigation boils down to this pretty unspectacular ocean map where you pick your next destination and then wait as you inch your way there. I never felt any sense of discovery like that of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, or even of the small open ocean segment of Paper Mario: The Origami King.
Let me give it to you straight, guys. You don't feel discovery akin to The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. And if you went into Brothership expecting that you would, that is your problem. I don't know why this dude thought that the sailing in this game would be anything akin to that, but it's not, and it doesn't need to be. I'll tell you, I was ready to hate on the sailing too. I really was, but then they give a faster sailing feature that makes it just fine. It really doesn't bother me at all, and it's almost like this guy quit playing the game after the first fourth of it. But yeah, the sailing isn't as good as Wind Waker. I mean, don't play the game if you thought it was gonna be. Not that type of game, buddy.
Several choices make Brothership feel like baby's first RPG. It probably will be for plenty of kids out there, so that isn't inherently a bad thing, but this is the rare game starring Mario that feels designed specifically for ages 6 to 12 rather than ages 6 to 80.
If you're worried at all that this game's gonna be more handholdy than previous Mario and Luigi games, you don't have to at all. Even as a series veteran who's played all of these games multiple times, I struggled at parts. It was really welcome, and I think he's referring to the exploration here, but I don't know, he needs to go back and play more Mario and Luigi games because it is no worse than any of them when it comes to the hand-holding.
Almost any time you enter a new area, the camera slowly pans over to your objective and slowly pans back like this.
I don't know if this guy knows this, but if you hold in the B button, it will fast forward any scene that you're in. But also, even if you couldn't, this is not an issue with this game. I will say, at the very end of the game, it started doing this a whole lot, panning over to the objective. But up until, I would say, the last couple of hours of the game, this was not a thing. I don't know why he decided to focus on this, but truly, hold the B button, it'll take 3 seconds.
Brothership makes an admirable attempt at telling a story about the importance of connections, but it's another area where the idea is better than the execution. The writing is just so unoriginal, and I didn't get attached to any of this large cast in the same way I have with so many companions from past Mario RPGs.
This is a ridiculous statement to me, because the story about connections is great, and when he says he hasn't gotten attached to any of the characters, I'm shocked. Did this dude not read the dialogue for Idle, for Buddy, for Technicky? He just saw the Chillum and Bernadette wedding and said, that did nothing for me. I mean, I kid you not. I've played all of these games. It is the best when it comes to making you care about the characters. The theming of connections is great, and it really comes through in the end, and I just don't know. I just don't know why this guy hated it so much.
I love how Mario, Luigi, and many enemies look, but the power outlet-shaped residents of Concordia just didn't resonate with me. Their blocky look is a bit rudimentary and clashes with the style of characters from the Mushroom Kingdom.
That's the point. point. We're not in the Mushroom Kingdom, and there are people from the Mushroom Kingdom here, so they look different so we could tell who's from Concordia and who is from the Mushroom Kingdom. Did you expect them to look the same? Again, ridiculous complaint. I mean, I am so happy that we got unique character designs, and by the end of it, I really came to love the people of Concordia.
All the islands you visit are very generic too, with familiar fire, ice, and desert settings you've seen dozens of times before. For a series that once had microscopic versions of Mario and Luigi roaming around Bowser's internal organs, these areas feel disappointingly safe.
Here's what I'll give him. Compared to Bowser's Inside Story, the very best game of the series, one of the greatest Nintendo games of all time. Sure, the environments aren't as creative as that, but they do have some really cool standout areas. Lot of Coins Island was one of my favorites. These are not the generic worlds that he says they are. He's acting like we're running around in Mario and Luigi Paper Jam here, and it's just not the case. It's the characters inside of those environments that make them so good, but he hated the characters, so I guess I can see why he didn't find them anything but generic.
The whole adventure would probably pop more if it didn't run so badly. This is easily one of the worst performing Nintendo games on Switch, with incessant frame rate issues while exploring the overworld. Brothership chugs and stutters basically anytime there's some sort of environmental element present, like rushing water.
Okay, I'll give this one to him. It does run pretty bad. And I hate to say this, and I hate being that guy, and I do say the performance does knock at least 1 point off of it in my score. But you do get used to it, and as you play the game, you start to not even notice it. And now listen, it's bad that you have to get used to it, and I will never be that guy who does not knock points for it. But once you're 5-10 hours into the adventure, it becomes a non-factor, and the Switch 2 is coming out, and it will run better on that. I swear, if they could make this game run smooth on the Switch 2, it's gonna be real hard for it not to be the best Mario and Luigi game, because in my opinion, that's its biggest flaw.
In past adventures, Luigi follows right behind Mario, and you platform and solve puzzles with the two of them as a unit you control. In Brothership's overworld, though, Luigi feels more like an NPC ally than a second protagonist. He follows Mario at a disconnected, awkward distance, he can jump on his own without you pressing a button, and many puzzles revolve around simply ordering Luigi to automatically do something for you.
Again, I think I can give this one to him. I at least can see why this annoyed him. Luigi functions very differently in this game, and I will say they did not absolutely nail it. I also want to give Acquire props in the sense that I can see the vision here. I think what they were going for was a really cool idea, and I think it was really unique and brave to go for something so different in this game. I think they realized that the platforming was a little awkward having to press A and B, so making Luigi automated does make some of those platforming sections feel a lot better. However, the IGN reviewer is right that at a lot of points it does feel really awkward. This is a concept I would love to actually see come back in another game that I really hope Acquire gets to do. Like I said, I really see the vision with this. At times it really works, but sometimes it is awkward, and I think with just a little more fine tuning, this could really work. I actually hope they stick with this.
Certain areas seem like they were designed for the old system and are now completely pointless, like platforming segments where Mario needs to jump on the red platforms and Luigi follows suit on green ones. Once you've moved Mario, you just twiddle your thumbs as Luigi does his part on his own.
He literally says this feels like it's designed for the old system, but it just inherently would not even be remotely possible in it. I don't know, a very weird thing to say. Luigi could not run ahead of Mario and jump on a platform in the old system, so really bad example there from him. That's definitely a nitpick, but it's just weird.
There are even segments where he will actively work against you, like here when you need to step on numbered panels in order, but Luigi, bafflingly, doesn't wait to step on his number before you've stepped on yours.
That's how it's supposed to work. Literally the whole point of these puzzles is to be fast enough to get to your number before Luigi gets to his, so I don't know what he's complaining about here. He's acting like that's how it's not supposed to work, how Luigi is being clunky and wrong by beating you to the number. I don't know if this is just another fundamental misunderstanding of how this is supposed to work, or just another really bad point.
One new mechanic is called Luigi Logic, but its lengthy animation generally just results in Luigi telling you how to progress, or worse, doing it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, the Luigi Logic animation did get old. I liked the Luigi Logic more in the battles than I did on the field. Listen, the animation is beautiful, but once you've seen it 10 times, a lot of the time it feels like you can do without it.
The one place Brothership manages to shine is its combat, which as a whole is awesome.
So yeah, even he really liked the battles, and I'll say they're probably the best in the series. I think we could have a real conversation about the Bros attacks not being the best. I probably would not say they are. But where the game really shines is the plugs. It gives you a level of customization that no other Mario and Luigi game ever has. Badges have always been a thing that Paper Mario has had over Mario and Luigi, but in this game the plugs really fill that void. They do a good job of explaining why they're so good. Combining them is really fun. Knowing which ones to pull out when gives a different layer of strategy, and they even add new animations for some of them. The battles are absolutely fantastic, and they have a great battle theme to boot, which is a really important factor for a series with such good music.
But while combat is the best in the series, even it still wears thin before the end of the adventure. Without spoilers, the final third is a complete slog that adds nothing of substance beyond retreading the mediocre exploration and puzzle solving of the first 20+ hours.
I'll say again, I don't know what game this guy was playing. The final third is excellent, and yes, you do have to retread old ground, but there's a really crazy thing happening in the story that motivates you. Mario and Luigi games have struggled from bad pacing issues in the past, specifically Dream Team, which is a fantastic game that does go on just a little too long. I'll say I really did not feel that in Brothership. Everything I was doing constantly felt interesting. The fact that he hated this last third, again, just baffles me. I don't know why you wouldn't enjoy it. Well, I guess now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, it is very character focused. And as we know, this guy absolutely hated the characters and the people of Concordia, so you know what? I actually see why he hated it now.
The Switch has been home to many triumphant revivals for Nintendo, but the Mario and Luigi series has sadly missed the boat.
I do like that has sadly missed the boat comment. I'm going to give him one there. But yeah, I think this review is not good, and I think it hurt the reputation of Mario and Luigi Brothership. I respect the reviewer Logan Plant for having a strong opinion, but I think his opinion is wrong, and I'm very glad that it was because I was worried going into the game. In terms of the score I would give it, I think I'm going to go with a solid 8 out of 10. The weird quirks with the performance and the way Luigi works mark it down a little bit for me. The highs it reaches are excellent, and I think it truly tells the most heartwarming story in the entire series. I also can't lie when I say I really miss Yoko Shinomura as the composer. That was one of the highlights of the series for me. While the music isn't bad, there's actually some bangers in there, I really did miss her presence because she's just so awesome. But yeah, this is up there for Mario and Luigi games. There's no universe where it's the worst. I don't even think there's a universe where it's bottom 2, but I'm going to have to decide what my ranking of the Mario and Luigi games are. Again, another video coming in the future, so if you want to see that, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I think that's all I have for you guys today, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.